Let's now speak with Marianne and Emily to find out a little bit about them, why they are in the community, and also how the course has been for them so far. So, Emily, maybe if we can start with you. And I'll have 3 questions for both of you. And my first question, Emily, to you is if you can introduce yourself, a little bit about your background, where you're based, and how did you come across EXO and our community? Emily, we can't hear you, I think. You are unmuted, but we cannot hear you. You can try to maybe unplug the headphones. Maybe the headphones are the problem.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks. So I'm originally from Canada, and I have lived in and out of Bogota, Colombia since 2005. I'm currently living in Bogota, Colombia. I also lived in Miami in the United States. And how did I find the EXO community? So I had the news on one evening and recognized somebody that I had met previously. So I turned up the volume, and he was talking about the EXO World Digital Summit, and it sounded really interesting. And so I looked that up immediately and ended up immersed in a 3-day event that absolutely connected with who I am and where I want to go. So I got very engaged in the community right away.
That's awesome. What kind of news was that? I didn't even know that.
It was in Colombia. It was Rodrigo Arboleda, who's one of the president of the Fast Track Institute, and he was speaking. I knew him from when he was director of One Laptop Per Child, and
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Wow, what a story. It's something new I have learned as well. Thank you for sharing that. And Marianne, the same question to you. If you can briefly introduce yourself and tell us how did you come across of EXO community?
Sure. Hi. So I'm Marianne Wine. I'm originally from Denmark, but I've lived in Vancouver, Canada for about 25 years. I spent most of my life working on transformation projects for companies in all kinds of industries and working with the technology, the people, the process, and all that stuff. And I'm new to OpenEXO, but I've been a member of Peter Diamandis Abundance 360 for the past 3 years, and have been introduced to the EXO technologies, the exponential technologies, the exponential organizations, and it totally ties into, like Emily said, everything I do. And then through Abundance, I was introduced to the 3-day conference in April, which I watched and really enjoyed that and learned about the course and researched the course, both the consultant course and the sprint. And I realized the sprint course in particular has created that framework that is going to be a perfect addition to everything, all the tools I have in my toolbox to help organizations in a very focused way to become exponential. So again, it's a perfect fit for me.
Excellent. That's great. That's great, Marianne. So Canadians moving to Colombia and Danish people moving to Canada. It's all across. Excellent. So my second question to both of you, and I'll start with Marianne this time, is Marianne, how did you decide to take the program, the consultant program, and how are you finding it so far? Actually, Emily and Marianne are kind of about 60% in, so they are not fully yet done. But how are you finding it so far?
I'm really enjoying it. I love the tools that we're using, the learning about the EXO attributes, the EXO canvas. I've used the business model canvas for years, so that's been nice to add to that, and the EXO quotient assessment. But most importantly, I've enjoyed working with the client and just seeing their reaction. And I'm working with a very conservative organization, so to get them to open their eyes and get excited has been revealing to me that there is something here that a lot of organizations need.
Super, that's great. Emily, the same question to you. Why the program and how are you finding it so far?
Yeah, so I have been doing consulting independently for about 7 years, and most of the consulting work that I've done has been project focused, project management and design, proposals, etc. And the execution of them. And I didn't really have a framework for consulting around transforming organizations. But I have worked a lot with startups and entrepreneurs in all areas throughout the Americas. And I recently also certified as a conscious capitalism or conscious business change agent. And I wanted to connect that with innovation, and I really found the technology angle very interesting from what EXO provides, as well as all of the attributes. They combine quite well with conscious capitalism. And I wanted to find a framework that I could implement the conscious capitalism tenets within an organization in that transformation process, while also increasing its productivity. So that's what I'm learning through the EXO consultant course. And and I'm really enjoying this week in particular, feeling like week 3, we're really getting into the meat of that methodology and the process that we can use to implement change in organizations.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Emily. And I have a final question for both of you, and I'll start with Emily this time. So my final question is, if you think of, and both Emily and Marianne have been very hardworking students and doing great in the program, but if you think of, yourself after the program, what do you see possible for you professionally, and what are you inspired with kind of going forward, having taken the course?
You want who to go first?
Emily, you can go first.
Okay, great. So I am really enthusiastic about the community aspect of it, being able to really connect in with other people who already have this knowledge and are gaining the experience or already have experience implementing EXO attributes and the whole process in different organizations. I'm looking forward to connecting and working with quite a number of people in the network, and I've already started to do that a little bit too. And because I have a consulting group that works in a network manner, and so that really fits in quite well with my business model. And professionally, being able to implement those transformation processes both directly and as well as to be able to supervise and lead and direct them, I think is really exciting.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Emily. And Marianne, final question, the same for you. What do you feel inspired to do after the consultant certification is over?
Well, I'm already starting, because anybody I can speak to, I'm talking about their attributes. I can't help it. It's just like, I have to tell you about this. So yeah, I look forward to connecting with the community, and I'm actually planning to talk to Emily today about conscious capitalism, because I'm very interested in that. And I really think it's important that as a community that we really help organizations on the right track to do good in the world. I think that's critical. And maybe the conscious capitalism can help add to the framework that way, because I know the MTP really focuses on that, but I think maybe we need more to ensure that we're doing the right things and that organizations are solving our world problems in a good way. So yeah, I look forward to working on all that and just helping companies open their eyes.
Yeah, I look forward to talking with you more about it too, Marianne.
Okay, good.
and there is actually we have like quite a big group in Barcelona, and there is a community member. His name is Xavi, and he actually has conscious capitalism in Barcelona, and he has like a conference, a company. I think you should connect with him. I think you're gonna enjoy that conversation. He's a great guy as well, and who knows, maybe we'll have a training one day on conscious capitalism as well inside the community. I think it'll be very, very welcome. So thank you, Emily. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you for spending the time here and sharing your experiences, and great to chat with you. So that's it from me. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks so much, Jaroslav. Before we do go into a time of sharing, I also want to just thank Marianne and Emily so much for jumping on and sharing